Hello, darlings. You're welcome to Z-Star Africa, your home of sizzling drama recaps. Let's dive deep into the unsolved mysteries, shocking betrayals, emotional twists, and heart-stopping moments in Lost in Love's upcoming episodes. A story that will keep you at the very edge of your seats. From Neil joining forces with the police in a move that could either protect or betray Savi, to Rajat's illegal secrets being exposed. Every scene burns with suspense and heartbreak. And just when Savi thinks she's one step closer to the truth, she walks straight into a deadly trap that changes everything. Please like and turn on your notifications for more of your favorites. It only gets more interesting. Let's dive in. It all starts with Savi arriving at her office. But Keshav stops her at the entrance, coldly reminding her that she's no longer an officer. Savi insists she's only there to talk about her husband's case, yet he refuses to let her in, asking her to wait for her turn. After waiting endlessly, Savi's frustration boils over. She storms into Nitin's office, only to freeze at the sight of Neil. Moments earlier, Neil had arrived at Nitin's office to confront him about the slow pace of the investigation. He boldly claims he's done more work on the case than Nitin's entire team. Nitin listens quietly, recalling Srichand's advice, to use someone Savi would never suspect to keep an eye on her. Playing along, Nitin offers Neil an official spot on the investigation team. Surprised, Neil questions why he should join, reminding Nitin that he already turned down Savi's request. Neil presses Nitin for the real reason behind his sudden offer. Nitin finally admits that he wants Neil to work with Savi, not to help her, but to watch her closely. He explains that Savi is too emotionally attached to her husband's case and might even tamper with evidence. Neil hesitates but eventually agrees. Back to the present, Savi, furious, demands answers about her husband's case. But Nitin coldly tells her to wait her turn. Hurt and angry, she storms out. Meanwhile, Rithi prepares to leave for the airport. Before she departs, she gently asks Tara and Bhagyashree not to trouble Savi anymore. Elsewhere, Savi meets Srichand and shows him a photo of Teju, asking if he knows her. Srichand first denies it, but when Savi mentions Teju's scholarship from the Goyal Foundation, he admits remembering her, saying he only helped her during a financial crisis and got her a job as a music professor. When Savi brings up Teju's trip to Dubai, Srichand avoids the question, pretending it's unimportant. Then Savi drops the shocking news. Both Teju and Rajat are dead. Acting surprised, Srichand expresses sympathy. Tearfully, Savi firmly declares she'll protect her family and make sure Rajat's killer is punished. After she leaves, Srichand secretly calls his associate to inform him that Savi has gone. Moments later, Savi receives a mysterious call from a man claiming to know the connection between Rajat and Teju. He asks her to meet him by the lakeside. Unaware of the trap, Savi rushes there. But as soon as she arrives, a group of goons ambushes and kidnaps her. During the struggle, her anklet falls to the ground. Meanwhile, Neil deeply investigates Savi's case. He says that Teju died a month after leaving home and believes she must have met Rajat during that time. Confused and restless, he keeps asking himself, what was the real connection between Teju and Rajat? Savi regains consciousness as her blindfold is removed. She's horrified to see Rithi tied up beside her. Demanding answers, Savi confronts the kidnappers, but the main goon mocks her questions. He reveals that Rajat was supposed to deliver an antique necklace worth 100 Indian rupees crores before his death. And now, he wants Savi to find it. He shows her a picture of the necklace and cruelly warns that Rithi's life depends on it. Savi insists she knows nothing about the necklace, but the goon only sneers, mocking Rajat's name and hinting at an affair. Furious, Savi defends her husband. The goon gives her 48 hours to return with the necklace, threatening that if she fails, she'll receive Rithi's dead body instead. Somewhere on a deserted road, Savi wakes up after being dumped there. Her hands tied, she struggles free and stares at the picture of the antique necklace, her only clue to saving Rithi. Back home, Bhagyashree grows anxious because Rithi isn't answering calls. Tara suggests Savi might know something. When Bhagyashree calls, Savi lies through tears that Riddhi is safe and on her way to Dubai. Bhagyashree insists on speaking to her, but Savi ends the call, breaking down helplessly. Desperate, she reaches out to Bhakti for help. Bhakti, who's in a meeting with Manjariker, steps out and promises to assist her, unaware that Keshav has been ordered to keep an eye on her. Still, Bhakti helps Savi sneak into the police record room. Savi searches the police record room computer for clues about the antique necklace and the kidnappers. Just then, Keshav enters. Startled, Savi hides while Bhakti quickly covers for her, pretending she's using the computer to look up a recipe since her phone internet isn't working. Keshav warns her to hurry and leaves. Once he's gone, Savi sighs in relief, but realizes she's still found nothing about the necklace or the man. She quietly slips out. Getting home, Savi searches through Sai's room, turning everything upside down, but still doesn't find the necklace. Suddenly, it clicks. Rajat might have kept the necklace in his office. Without wasting time, she rushes out. Meanwhile, Srichand watches everything through a hidden spy camera planted in Rajat's office. He sees Savi searching the room. Elsewhere, Keshav gives Neil the case file on Teju and Rajat's murder before walking away. Determined to uncover the truth, Neil examines the case file and decides to inspect Rajat's car, believing it might hold clues about the night of the murder. Jita tries to stop him, reminding Neil to think of Lena and go home, but Neil refuses. He's made up his mind. Neil arrives at the parking area to inspect Rajat's car. When the security guard stops him, he shows his ID and collects the keys. Neil searches the car carefully for any clues, but finds only a few toys. Just as he's about to give up, a candy falls to the ground. Picking it up, he notices something strange inside, a small ruby hidden within. Shocked, he recalls seeing the same kind of candy at Teju's house, and begins to wonder if the two cases are connected. At that moment, Savi arrives to check the car. Neil quickly hides the candy in his pocket. When she questions him about what he's hiding, he claims he found nothing but toys inside her husband's car. Savi senses something isn't right and gets suspicious. She tells him she came to investigate the car herself. Neil remembers how Nitin had told him that Savi was determined to clear her husband's name. He questions how she got inside despite being suspended, warning that if the security reports this, she could lose her job for good. Savi tells him not to create a scene and asks him to leave. Neil then tries to convince her that since both of them have lost their spouses, they should work together to uncover the truth. But Savi refuses, remembering the kidnapper's warning, that if she involved the police or anyone else, her family would be in danger. She hides her fear and rejects Neil's offer. Neil wonders why she changed her mind so suddenly, while Savi starts suspecting that Neil himself might be hiding something. She quietly follows him from a distance. Meanwhile, Srichand's men inform him that Riddhi has been kidnapped and won't be freed until Savi delivers the antique necklace. Srichand, pleased with the plan, praises him but makes it clear that he wishes Rajat had died by his own hands, saying his soul won't rest until that happens. Elsewhere, Ayi sits heartbroken, staring at Teju's photo. Neil visits her and tells her gently, "You've always seen Teju as your daughter, but I'm your son too. Don't ever hesitate to ask me for anything." Ayi blesses him and tells him how lucky Teju was to have him as her husband. When Neil asks to check Teju's room, she agrees but warns him not to risk his life chasing the truth. She's already lost one child and can't lose another. Inside Teju's room, Neil searches quietly, asking Ayi if she's seen any candy packets. She says she gave them to Vedant. Neil opens one and finds the same ruby hidden inside, identical to the one from Rajat's car. His suspicions grow stronger as the puzzle pieces start to connect. But just then Savi, who has been following him all along, catches him red-handed and angrily accuses him of stealing it from her husband's car. Neil asks if she already knew about the rubies, but Savi demands he hand them over immediately. Neil calmly explains that he only found one in Rajat's car and another in Teju's bag, then mocks her, suggesting she wants the rubies for herself. Savi snaps back, explaining that Rajat was drowning in debt and she needs the rubies to pay off his loans. She starts tearing through the candies in search of more. Neil tells her that only the candies marked with a star contain rubies. Following his hint, Savi finds more and tries to collect them, but Neil stops her. During their struggle, one candy slips and the ruby inside shatters, revealing it's fake. The truth shocks them both. Savi begins to panic about Ruby's safety and suddenly feels dizzy. Neil catches her before she collapses, steadying her until she regains her balance. He gently tells her that both Rajat and Tej's deaths seem connected to these rubies and urges her to join him in investigating the case. But Savi refuses and walks away, still bound by the kidnapper's warning. Neil watches her leave, confused about why she keeps pushing him away. When Savi returns home, the security guard hands her an envelope. Inside, she finds Ruby's bracelet and a note written in blood demanding the necklace in exchange for Ruby's life. Terrified, Savi examines it closely and realizes the blood is fake. The next morning, Bhagyashree becomes anxious. Ruby still hasn't called. She asks Savi if she's heard from her. Savi lies again, claiming Ruby spoke to her, but was too busy to call. Just then, Savi's phone rings. It's Marty, the main goon. He angrily demands why she hasn't been answering his calls. Savi explains she's been surrounded by people. The goon mocks her fear and warns that time is running out. He gives her a final warning. Bring the antique necklace soon, or Ruby will pay the price. Savi agrees in desperation. Just then, Aniket walks in and asks who she was talking to. Savi quickly lies, saying she was speaking with the college staff to make sure Ruby is fine. Aniket praises her for being so caring before leaving. Meanwhile, Neil goes to the police station to share information about the rubies with Nitin. At the same time, Savi calls Bhakti to ask for updates on Rajat's case and her unpaid salary. Bhakti says hers was credited, suggesting that Nitin might have stopped Savi's payment. Neil overhears Bhakti speaking to Savi and takes the phone, recognizing her instantly. He asks her to work with him on the case, but Savi refuses again, insisting she doesn't need his help. At home, Savi silently wonders if Bhaskar, Rajat's close friend, might know where the missing rubies are. Meanwhile, Neil works out, lost in thought about the case, when Jita drops by and offers his help in uncovering the truth. Savi, on the other hand, meets Bhaskar at the office and asks if Rajat had a safe there, claiming his insurance papers are missing. Bhaskar reveals that Rajat had a secret locker in his room. Curious, Savi decides to check it herself. She tries unlocking the locker but fails. Looking at their wedding photo, she enters their wedding date, and to her surprise, it works. Inside, she finds a Bappa idol, a key, and a locker number. Grateful, she prays to Bappa for help and heads out. At the bank, Savi opens the locker and finds half a note of Swiss currency inside. Her heart sinks, time is almost up. Just then, Marty calls, ordering her to meet him at Gandhi Chowk. Savi prays for Ruby's safety and leaves immediately. At Gandhi Chowk, Savi pleads with Marty not to hurt Ruby. Marty mocks her, saying she broke her promise, but he intends to keep his. When Savi threatens him, he laughs and sarcastically says he's terrified. Then he gives her a cruel choice. If she wants to save Ruby, she must continue Rajat's old job. Meanwhile, Nitin asks Neil for updates on the investigation. Neil recalls everything but decides not to reveal the truth about the fake rubies. Marty finally tells Savi that Rajat used to launder their illegal money and made a fortune from it. Savi is shocked and refuses to believe it. Marty reminds her that Rajat even opened a company in her name for that purpose, one that was later shut down. Horrified, Savi refuses to cooperate. Marty coldly threatens to kill Ruby and send her in pieces. Terrified, Savi begs him not to hurt her friend. Marty gives her time to think and leaves. Savi breaks down but soon gathers her strength, vowing not to let them use her the way they used Rajat, and promising to save Ruby at all costs. That's a wrap, fams. See you in the next. Much love.